So the first one here is, well, Laurence, you mentioned yesterday that in meditation, the light will emerge that will help us deal with the 8 big problems of life. Can you share and explain on how we can attain this light? Explain about this light and how to find this light. So just hold this question for a while. And there are several other questions. Is there any difference between meditation and contemplation? Several questions on this. So maybe you could address these two together, the light, and also meditation and contemplation.
There's a passage in a little saying in the Valkyries that we've been looking at, where he says that in Apatheia, you remember Apatheia is this state of health of the soul. This is where we're in balance, when we're functioning well, and we are in harmony and integration, and the problems are under control. And so in Apatheia, he says one of the signs of Apatheia is that we begin to see the light of our own spirit. We begin to see the light of our own spirit. Now, I don't think that means a physical light or a physical experience of light. But light is the best metaphor, and one that's used frequently in the Gospels. I am the light of the world. To describe a way of knowing, a way of seeing, a clarity, an awareness that is different from the one you had before. It's a bit like the guy I was telling you about who used to walk the same road to the college every day for a year, and then suddenly began to notice the road he was walking on. Well, you could say that a light turned on. Sometimes we say that when we have a moment of insight, you know, and we see something we didn't see before, or something becomes very clear. We suddenly realize, well, this is what I should do. You know, it doesn't happen immediately, but sometimes we have to sit in a state of confusion patiently and wait for events to teach us, or wait for the right moment in our own inner development before we can see. So I think this is what the light means. It's not that we're trying to make, you know, turn on a physical light in our minds. And it's a light of wisdom, it's a light of love, and in a sense, in a real sense, it is already there, it is already present and turned on within us. Meditation, I think, makes us conscious that we are already, our hearts are already in a state of contemplation, light of contemplation, clarity, the purity of heart that allows us to see God is there. One of the signs of it, because of the indwelling person of Christ and indwelling of the Spirit. One of the signs of this, for example, is the way you look at people that you don't normally look at, or the people you don't like, or the people that you would rather you don't want to pay attention to, for whatever reason. They're not important enough, they threaten you, the beggar on the street, or the poor, or the sick, or the socially unacceptable. I was very happy to meet a meditation group I think it was in South America, I think it was in Uruguay. And, no, it was in Brazil, I'm sorry, in Brazil. And we were meeting with the group leaders, and one man was describing his group, and he said the group meets in a very inclusive parish. And a lot of people who are rejected from other churches, who are not acceptable. These would be gay people, in Brazil, they are even gay prostitutes and transgender people. Yeah, these are people you don't normally have anything to do with, or people who are very marginal and socially unrespectable. And he said this parish has become a place where they are welcomed and accepted, you know, and allowed to worship with others. It's an inclusive parish. And he said, you know, our meditation group welcomes them as well. So I think that's light, you know. That shows that you see these people in the light of Christ, just as he ate and drank with sinners, you know, and was criticized for doing so. And this parish is criticized by some of the neighboring parishes because they shouldn't invite these kind of people, you know, to their events. But this is the kind of church that Pope Francis is talking about. A church where everybody feels welcome, he says, and a church of mercy, not judgment. I mean, isn't that what Christ would do? Isn't that how Jesus operates? So I think this is what I mean by the light also. The light of our own spirit is the light of Christ that enables us to see in these kinds of people we don't normally look at or pay attention to. We see creatures, you know, beloved creatures of God and brothers and sisters of our own, members of the same family. And that's a perception. We don't necessarily have that from day one, but I think that light, as the light of Christ gets stronger, that's how we learn to see others.